levels.
Do you think Pugner's a weak laner? Because I thought last patch she was quite a strong laner. Or do you feel like this is now as a result to
Not level 1, level
7.31D?
3. Level 3, he's good. Level
Dire
1, no.
team ban.
Like, you need to be able to get through that rough period.
Oh.
It's another strong laner, though, right? Like, this is exactly what we were wanting, and it's one of those heroes that's super capable of man fighting into a juggernaut.
What is this hero, though? Oh, I don't
They
know.
just wanted a strong laner. That's it.
10 seconds remaining.
They have some decent ways to be able to
5
kite the troll
seconds
throughout the
remaining.
game. You got multiple BKB piercing stuns in kick and punch if Tusk goes down that route. Of course, the leash as well for the Grimstroke, but we'll see how they try and round the draft on Execration to enable the troll. They're definitely lacking stuns, which is I always think something you look to kind of pairing with. I guess Arena is going to be a really nice AoE kind of control setup for the troll waller, just to be able to right click, but I wonder how else they're going to really set him up for victory in this game.
Radiant team ban.
I wouldn't have hated seeing the Bloodseeker come out instead. You know, very good against a core Keeper of the Light that's wanting to constantly be running around, never really wants to stand perfectly still. Juggernaut as well, you just shove out the lane and trade fairly evenly. Really wouldn't have hated to see it, but
10
now that it's
seconds
gone,
remaining.
I wonder what they're going to opt for here. Like, could they conquer, perhaps? Just something that gives them a little bit more of that control, allows a Troll Warlord to stand still and just look to man fight. It would make sense with the Razor ban. And again, if it's a coddle mid,
Dire
it's one of those
team
few abilities that's able to actually catch him out.
With the last pick on Atlantis, what do you feel like they need to cover? What are the flaws there they currently have with their lineup?
They don't have anyone that really
Radiant
wants to be
team
there on the
pick.
front lines either.
Ember Spirit.
So yeah, Ember Spirit's pretty decent. So is this? It's not a Tusk 3, is it?
Looks like it might be.
Oh. All right, I'm gonna go Execration. Can you lane against the Ember now? Could they snap mid?
10 seconds remaining.
If Bob wants to snap mid, this is the game to do it.
5
Great pairing
seconds
with the
remaining.
Mars. Beats Ember Spirit in lane. Wouldn't hate seeing it.
I'm trying to see if there's any way they can fit a mag in. I don't know. The hero's not very picked and utilized at all at the moment, but the only reason I'm really...
Maybe an Invoker?
Yeah, I think just some way to be able to... Yeah, actually Invoker. I like Invoker for the Ember. Gives you tempo controller because I think you need a way to be able to start fights. I guess maybe the issue with the Invoker and Mag is that they both don't really have ways to help out a Mirana arrow. Like, it's really nice having a position 2 that can set up for the arrow mid.
You got Sunstrike. I mean, you do a little bit, right? Tornado, Cold Snap. Once you get Urn, super capable of doing it.
Void
Choose your
incarnate.
hero.
Just go the more Bob style hero, I suppose.
Very mobile.
I'm still going to go Execration.
I do think the Ember has a pretty good matchup versus the Void Spirit, but it can go back and forth. A lot of Spirit matchups can go back and forth. I think the nice thing about the Ember is that you're a lot of magic damage. You have a little bit more remnants to play with early on. It can be... Again, it can go back and forth. I think the lane Ember's going to have a good time, but the nice thing about the Void Spirit is he's probably going to go down this Yule's route just to be able to eat up the Omni Slash and also have a guaranteed way to go Yule's, Remnant, set up for the arrow and go from there. It's a lot of bursts inside the arena, which they were currently lacking. And there's no real easy control on Atlantis. I think Bob's going to have a very free game. And you don't like your Tusk as well, so I feel like that in itself is enough. We don't have to see anything else. Just you see Tusk 3, you're like, all right, we're going Execration.
I mean, what can a Tusk really do against a Troll Warlord in the laning stage, right? He's just going to constantly get right-click down from that range form. You've also got Pugner, who's super capable of, like, you just go the early point into the decrep, and then even if they get on top of you, what's tag team going to do? Not too much. And you don't really want to level up tag team anyway as a Tusk if you're in this core role, right? You're probably not going to be getting any kills. You need to be leveling up your shards and snowball to be able to try and just secure that farm against the stronger laner. So, yeah, I'm feeling confident with Execration. At least this time around, though, Wonder Boy is going to be able to get something out of that lane. You're not suffering a heavy attack damage disadvantage. You're not going to get all these denies taken away from you. He's going to, at the very least, trade evenly with Bob.
We'll see if Wonderboy can utilize at least this good start and propel him into a better game. They do have another way to really help enable him off the back of the Grimstroke. The Inkswell is always that potential. It was nerfed slightly, right? Let's see, Grimstroke.
What are we talking about?
The Inkswell, yeah. The radius was reduced from 400 to 375, and the cooldown was increased as well to maxed out 18 seconds.
Now, is the camera fixed? That's what I want to know.
It's not. Oh my god. Ugh.
Jeff Hill, Lord and Savior, please fix.
If anyone is watching from Valve, please. WASD is not working with assisted camera. It is making observing very difficult.
Also invite us to TI.
Oh, sure. Okay, yeah, if you want. I mean, I'm happy with the camera being fixed for the moment. It's doing.
I'll forget that.
Dude, I can't. It's so hard to concentrate. All right, what do we got? Power loss. Just got rid of their own observer. Hate to see it.
Huh? No, he didn't get rid of his own. It was just Vincenzo that planted it. He got the right click. Vincenzo got the gold.
Sorry.
It's all right. You're all muddled up because of this camera. I understand.
The battle begins.
Yep, pretty much. What's going on? WS. Well, it's not be a good start for a Tusk3, would it? If he's killed off, at least he's might escape, might not. You got a movement speed advantage on Vincenzo. You got the axes back up as well. They need one more right click and, well, the Connor's really not going to do much to stop them. So Vincenzo finds our first blood to start game 2.
Didn't even skill anything. Like, I thought maybe once he was going up onto that high ground, he might use the ice shards just because you might be looking to use them to secure range creeps anyway. I suppose you've got the coddle for that, but you definitely don't want to be giving up that first blood unnecessarily. Vincenzo doing it 2 games in a row now.
It's gonna. What are you expecting Vincenzo to bring out with this? Palos? It's kind of cool. Like a shards into the full blast combo.
Oh, look at him. He's expecting to get salved. Oh, disgusting. Disgusting. All right, I just gave him over a Tango, so it's not as bad. Tango's still pretty good.
How does this?
That is Vincenzo's salve.
How does
top
this?
side? They actually landed the arrow onto the jug.
Mango Rose. Yeah, well, they got one Tango on Ponyo. Maybe I can help out. I can't imagine too much so, unfortunately for Mango Rose. So at least the Juggernaut, once he finds his 2nd level, should be able to put a point in the healing ward.
You got another set of Tangos coming out as well. I really wonder how long it's going to be. Oof, nearly able to land the spear onto the Juggernaut there. I wonder how long it's going to be until we see a lot more of the prioritization again of the healing supports. I feel like it's actually going to be such a big deal of making sure you're getting out of the laning stage in a good spot.
Because all these carries are crying about not having selves given over. It's just the healing support, or you were mentioning game 1, just having the carry that's kind of sustainable. And we saw it on both sides. Mango Rose, oh no, the arrow's on point. Doesn't have any more way to keep himself healthy with the healing ward expiring, so Mango Rose is put in a very awkward position.
This is what happens, right? You're a Juggernaut. That healing ward still has the full 60-second cooldown. Tino doesn't have enough for the Spear and God's Rebuke combination, but he's going to look to try and get as many harassment right-clicks off as he can. Going to be tough under the tower, but he does deny both range creeps, so he's having a really nice job in this top side.
We did see, though, for Execration in game 1, all 3 lanes were going very favorably for them. Looking a little bit different. Vincenzo trying to body Iad. He's going to have another round of the blast up, surely. Vincenzo's going to try and man fight this, but WS with 2 points in the shards will offer enough damage to get the kill.
pretty important kill for the Tusk to be able to pick up. He was sitting fairly far down on the net worth, so now that rockets him a fair way up the leaderboards. But this is all just about Palace. He wants to have that secure laning stage. He wants to be that level 4 so that you're able to just constantly push the Tusk away, prevent him from having that solid early game. Because that's where a Tusk, you want to be able to snowball based off of that. No pun intended.
I'll take that.
You meant it. Don't lie. We both know you did.
I was happy with it once it was said, but I didn't actually intend it. Well, this is something that Execration have always done fairly well.
Refreshing.
Just looking to make the rotations towards the mid lane. These power runes so important. Bob secures the bottom one. Shanks gets top. Wonder Boy is not quite as easy to sustain against his spirit brother. Top side.
Grimshaw gonna take a bunch of damage here as Tino and Shanks land the combo once again. The right click over the tree line is able to secure the second kill for the side of Execration. This top lane is going incredibly well. Tino is botting Mango Rose. Bottom lane as well.
It's just...
Coddle's gonna be in some trouble. Palace. The whirling axe is up in a couple seconds. The blast to follow an Execration. Got another kill across the map.
I wish I could contribute, but my camera bugged out as well, so I had to reconnect. But it just seems like, again, you're in one of these matchups where you've got that right-click
Oh,
disadvantage.
Bob, he's got level 6 advantage. He's going...
Dire's
Okay.
courier
I
has
thought he was going to continue going, but I think saw the TP from Iyad and thought twice about it.
Rest easy, child.
That's the thing. You just have to wait that half second more so he commits, and then you come through with the TP to try and kill him. But, well, at least it does mean that you're not dying. You still get the bottle refill on Wonder Boy. What I was saying before was you've got this right-click advantage on the Mars. Look at him. He's sitting at 87 damage, Juggernaut 64. So you're always going to be able to get the better end of a lot of these deny trades. Couple points in the braces. You've got that more passive regen coming through. What does a Juggernaut
Radiant's
have?
middle
Even just if he
tower
places
is
down
under
the healing
attack.
ward, right? Barana, one of the better heroes at being able to immediately clear that one out. So this is just so oppressive for a Juggernaut to have to play into.
So what do you do if you're Atlantis to give your Jug a semi-decent game as well? He's going to be in trouble. Tino and Shanks combined together once again. They are looking beautiful in this lane. Well, Tino's actually... He's going to go down here. Mango Rose senses an opportunity with the creeps block him into the tree line. Meanwhile, across the map, Bob also gets a solo kill as he brings down Ponyo.
How many tower hits did he take? I feel like he took a fair few tower hits. That was maybe a little bit of sloppy play coming through. 4 tower hits, I'm counting, at the 6-minute mark. Even a Mars can't really contest into that. But at least you had Shanks there that was able to clean up the kill. He also got rid of the healing wards. That's a lot of valuable gold going his way.
Mid lane.
Speaking of Shanks.
Go for it.
Oh,
Check it out.
Hey!
Got it. I don't think it's going to be enough damage though. But he got... Maybe Wonder Boy. Okay, got blown up. Oh, Shanks. This guy's crazy on the Rana. Like, we saw... All through Pro Series, Execration were always putting emphasis on Shanks' Mirana. He had a really good game 1. Now is showing up huge in game 2 as well as Bob. He's going to go back for the Keep of the Light. He'll miss the arrow this time, so praising Shanks a little bit too early.
And he's going to have to back off completely as well. No mana left. He moves the healing self, but he's still sitting on... Actually, okay, might be looking to just go into the Arcane Boots. Move back up towards the top side and continue trying to force the Juggernaut back to the jungle, and well, actually, mission accomplished. He's already been pushed all the way back there, has the casual Sage's Mask. He got the Bassi coming out to him? Yes, he does. So he just wants to be able to constantly spam these spells to be able to farm. He's given up on this lane, and that's not what you wanted. Like, a big part behind this Jug pick was to be able to contest the Mars, and you really haven't accomplished that at all.
So, yeah, what do Atlantis do to really help Mango?
Brilliant.
At least he stopped the Centaur from eating the arrow, but how do Atlantis give Mango Rose a decent game now?
Ooh, can you? That's my real question for that, right? Because Tusk is in a position 4, so he doesn't really want to rotate. Coddle doesn't really do much on that top side, right? Because you have nothing that's going to hold people in position.
Oh, we got the spear before the Blade Fury. It was actually still on cooldown regardless. Shank's gonna fly over to protect himself inside the arena. They want to turn to Tino instead. Double brace a soul ring. Tino's not an easy kill as Bob flies over to fight. Gets the burst required to kill off the Keeper of the Light. But with WS showing up, Bob, he's going to be the one in trouble. Still going down to Ponyo. They'll trade the life for the supports here. Bob's still looking to take the fight. Tino's going to be off the mark, but Palos coming all the way from bottom to the mouth of the pit. They get the control. WS, he too is relatively tanky with double bracer. At least the chain's holding them both together. But Bob's going to have another round of the ultimate up in the arsenal. And WS now doesn't make it on the other side of the shards. And Bob already up to a mega kill streak.
Yeah, this is still banking on the early game, and that early game just has not been happening, unfortunately. Wonderboy, well, every single one of the cores actually on Atlantis falling behind their Execration counterparts. Troll Warlord, he's going to secure the lane, but he was able to do it almost entirely solo. Even Vincenzo not having to turn up to that means that he's hitting his level 6 prior to that 10-minute mark, so very nicely done by him as well.
And we'll get Shanks at least. Yeah, you'll take whatever you can get across the map. Wonderboy to claim the kill. Of course, Shanks is a relatively high level as well. We're about to hit the 10-minute mark, and he already had the level 6 to play with. Even Vincenzo as well. So the supports from Execration are going to have all their abilities in the arsenal to be able to take these early game fights now.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Praying for that rune on the top side, and he's actually going to get it. It's a haste rune. Maybe we're going to look to try and chase down Ponyo here. Doesn't have any assistance coming through, but he might not need it.
Doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Uses the Simulator. So the ink spell will be on the mark. Bob, he doesn't go back in for it, does he? Bob? Oh no, he's going to run to the Omni Slash. Bob, no! One more swipe. That is a huge kill for Mango Rose. You said it.
Say about Bob? False sense of security. He thinks, oh, I've got a haste. There's absolutely nothing they could do. It was a cute little play to try with the Resonant Pulse there, just for the base shield with the 160, but wasn't enough.
Oh no. Oh, that's big for Juggernaut. He's got Javelin now completed. 500 gold in the bank. He's going to be working towards the Maelstrom. It's still a very good start for Execration. 3,000 net worth lead, but at least Mango Rose is now propelled himself up to 4th in net worth.
Work coming out here. Shank's actually able to land the arrow on the top side onto Ayad here, but no other assistance coming through. Actually, never mind that. You've got Tino being healed up here by Vincenzo. It's going to cost Shanks another life. I mean, he's died 3 times in the past 2 minutes now. So he still is a little bit vulnerable at this stage of the game. I was about to say, like, it's a much freer Mirana game than it was last time around, as I had speaking of him previously. He is probably going to be falling down here.
They're going to bring the numbers, though, to take the fight. Tino's able to drop the arena, protected for the bulwark, looking to moonwalk out. They don't have the damage for the moment. Bob's going to consider bringing down the Tusk, but recognizing he will not have enough damage, so it is arena expended, but they do get the coddle afterwards.
Let's go on Battle Fury and Palace. I know it's like a comfort thing. It's a really good Acceptor game, though.
They can't see.
Like, just to be able to dispel the Flame Guard, to be able to dispel the Ink Swell, get rid of the blinding light on yourself.
Is it on the Grimstroke? Plenty of bursts, especially with Tino offering the spear. But of course, he doesn't leash himself together with someone else. And he will make sure he stands far away from the proximity. But they're considering about diving the tier 1 with the threat of the Ember Spirit taping in. Bob's not going to go for this. They're forcing a lot of reactions. Top Valve, and now with the snowball going deeper, WS. Nice blink to retreat. They have to deal with the Netherworld. They're not going to be able to do so with the arrow on point. They'll bring down one, but Wonderboy's offering a lot of burst potential for the moment. Bob getting some life back. Speed just too late as WS snowballs on forward, gets a big kill on Bob. Now they're going to turn to Tino, but they've used all the damage. They don't have enough in the tank just yet. Got to wait for the cooldowns to come back up, and they've done just that. Sly claiming Shanks. Now they're going to turn to Tino next. Spear to give him enough breathing room to be able to retreat out of harm's way.
Couldn't ask too much more of Vincenzo out of that. He was just constantly life draining his teammates. He was even lucked out being able to secure that chip vest for himself for that nice extra 4 HP regen. But yeah, just going a little bit too deep, overestimating themselves. I mean, Tusk is the definition of an early game hero in my eyes. And yeah, he's really looking to take advantage of that. You know, high points in the ice shards, high points in the snowball. He's got a Keeper of the Light to play with as well. That's going to be constantly feeding him through the chakra magic. Have to be very careful.
Top lane, WS.
Yourself.
They're on to Tino. They're going to have the fall from Wonderboy as well, and Tino will get no assistance. As Atlantis finally getting really something out of this blink. I mean, we've seen WS have it for the past couple of minutes, but they're starting to get some kills. It's really not helping out too much with the net worth, though.
Tower is under attack.
He's using it offensively and defensively in a really good way. Just escaping with the use of his snowball, making those aggressive movements onto someone like the Mars. But Mars was still able to pick up the Blink Dagger prior to his death, so didn't lose too much of that unreliable gold. He's got the Arena of Blood available, so I'm really expecting to see him and Shanks make a play around this mid side, and they do. Immediately smoking up, looking to connect through onto Bob. Now he's the one trying to bait in Wonderboy.
Oh, Tino gets the spear, but the arrow soon to fall up, and Ayad's burst of health is not going to be enough, and he too will be caught out inside the walls as Execration and the Gladiators surround another target 5,000 net worth lead, and they're also eyeing up Mango Rose down bottom. He's farming underneath the Observer Ward. Tino, ooh.
Do you have any vision?
The ward on the right of that.
Yeah, I'm talking about Atlantis. I don't think they did. So it was just some really quick reaction time coming through there from the Juggernaut.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, Palace is
Going, okay, Lotus Orb this time around for the Mirana. Want to be able to
Is that the
get rid
last
of a few abilities onto himself, as well as protect up against the likes of the Omni Slash.
Dire
Smart.
are scanning.
Scans on the mark as well, Palace. He's got Vincenzo nearby. Pogno just on the other side, but still will be able to offer some assist. Oh, they pull him closer to the cliff line, and there's the jump, WS. But they're going to be cautious, because Vincenzo will be able to offer the health back to keep the troll alive. Almost back up to full health, and Wonderboy. Oh my, that was way too close. Almost connected on, but Palace is moving to the secret shop. Battle Trance is out, rips apart the Grimstroke back inside the river. Bob is on the Keep of the Light. Ultimate charges are on cooldown, but he can easily chase down the Coddle for a freebie, although hasn't done so just yet. To simulate, able to dodge one of them. Now down to the south we go. Wait, Mango Rose? Oh, what are you doing here, brother? Not a position you want the Juggernaut to be in, and in the end, Execration find a 3-for-1.
Dire's top tower.
Yeah, he was looking to try and get the kill onto the Mirana after he'd killed Mars. But yeah, just going a little bit too deep. Felt like he was on his own, maybe thinking the rest of the team was there to back him up, but certainly wasn't the case. Vincenzo's having another great game, you know, sitting even in that position 5 role at the top of all the supports on the net worth. He's got the chip vest, he's got the force staff, just to be able to continue channeling that life drain in a safe position.
Are there any...
I want to see someone in a pro game go the double Tranquil Boots build.
Radiant's bottom
Tranquil
tower
build.
is under attack.
This is the thing you get in your 2K pubs.
2K Immortal.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's 14 health regen
Dire's
per
top
boot, and you got
tower
2
is under
feet.
attack.
What's stopping you?
Ah, right. 2 feet, so it must be good. Wonderboy. Very nicely set up from Tino once again. The arrow soon to fly, and Tino, all they needed was that first setup, and Shanks is always in prime position. They're hunting for more. They've got the wall to the backline, so they know that Atlantis do not have many heroes to be able to play with for the moment. Unfortunately on Tino, though, wasn't able to cancel the blink, so it will be 2 kills. They're going to chain this into another on the Coddle. Execration have the high ground vision, so I add a 4-star back to the safety of the T2 tower, but that is not enough as a deterrent. Maybe they can chain this into the Tusk as well. Spear's going to be on the mark. WS. And pretty tanky.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I'm just wondering, like, how effective this BKB is actually going to be on WS once he does pick it up, right? Like, if he wanted some damage to be able to assist with his farming, you'd buy it now, just because you're using a Quelling Blade at the moment. The Ogre Axe is just going to provide you more, plus be tankier for any of these engagements, but it's really just staying on the edge.
Pop in the river, WS. Considering pushing on forward, Mango Rose as well. They got the ward on the higher ground Atlantis, but skirmish will not break out. Considering Bob wants to go. Doesn't have the scepter just yet.
Of course he does.
Gotta be cautious if it gets blown up with the blast flying on in. Bob! Oh, he gets blown up, and now with the numbers advantage, Atlantis, they might be able to take the skirmish. Moving over towards the Murano. It's gonna be pushed over towards the river and Execration. It looks like they'll just lose the one, but WS still hunting with the blink, but will not be able to catch up.
They might lose a tier 2 top as well. Palos,
bottom lane, look at this. They're setting up on Mango Rose. I don't know if the Mars and the Mirana have to... Oh, team. What? Oh, okay. Bit awkward. No,
okay.
Mango Rose will be right.
Certainly could have been better. A great voice line coming through. I mean, Palos, he was doing the right thing, though. You know, his entire team was pushing down on the bottom side, and Troll, certainly one of those heroes that if you give him that small window, quick to be able to get a lot of damage in onto a tower, tier 2, nearly removed entirely from the top side of Atlantis.
Dire are scanning.
We do have some items soon to be coming out, though. Mainly for Execration, it's the Scepter about to be completed. Actually, still needs a little bit more gold. So Bob, about 800. For Dire, though, you're going to have double BKBs shortly. One on the Tusk, one on the Ember. Jug is closing on the Manta. So even though it's a 9,000 deficit on Atlantis, if they can somehow get these next set items without losing Roshan, then we could definitely see them call this one back.
Yeah, I really do want to see the Juggernaut. I mean, he's got the Manta coming out to him, and I guess it's important for his farming potential, but I really wouldn't hate seeing him going into the Aghanim Shard, considering how close you are to those BKBs that we've just been mentioning, and it really feels like there's a Roche fight coming in the near future. WS, he's put that second point into the Walrus Punch. Once he gets 2 points in the tag team...
Bob? He's gonna jump in. Tino's gonna follow up as well, but it will not matter again. Bob's gonna be blown up to start the fight, not respecting the damage from Atlantis.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And I mean, yes, in terms of his actual farm, he's sitting right up there on the net worth, but 3,000 of it is just sitting on the courier right now. He doesn't want to reveal the fact that he's got the Aghanims for quite some time, and it's meant that he's died a couple of times, you know. Towards the end of that, he probably would have been able to get off the magic wand and double astral step away.
Oh no, they didn't get the connection. Palace is a basher though.
Got basher.
Get a bash, he does.
Hey.
He finds it. Oh, I was worried for a second. I'm like, hang on, he's really getting quite unlucky here. But yeah, now those voice lines aren't going to work out for you, are they, Mango Rose?
Sure, for sure, it's not. I believe he has the Manta coming out to him though, so at least that's completed for the Juggernaut. But really does feel like Execration once again in the driver's seat to be able to take out the later stages of this game. And we were talking about those BKB timings. You've reached them, at least on the Ember Spirit. Tusk very close to reaching his, but so is the Mars. Just so close to being able to claim that one. Bob only 50 gold away from the point booster. There we go. He's got it, plus the Resonant Pulse damage at that level 15 talent. So very, very capable of fighting up in these next couple of minutes. This is where the big brawls are going to happen, and whoever comes out on top is going to be able to claim that Roshan and cement themselves as probably having the better passage into the late game. Execration, of course, with the net worth advantage, so actually going to be making use out of it with Bob now having that item delivered.
We've seen Mango Rose's attempted to enter a couple of these previous skirmishes, but when is he really going to feel comfortable at showing up at these fights?
I think once he has the Aghanim Shard, he can feel somewhat confident to do it. I mean, they might be forced into going to it now, right? Because of everything that I mentioned. You've just got such a potent Roche-taking lineup with a Troll Warlord, with the levels advantage that you've got, with the map control as a result of being able to take that tier 2.
Roche is
Maybe a little
falling.
bit too late towards this. I mean, Wonderboy's going to be able to scout it out. He's freed up the item slots as well.
Dino, it's a very defensive arena to try and secure Roshan. Oh, they're going to kick him out. They kicked him out. Aegis snatch from Wonderboy. Beautiful play from Atlantis. Oh, what a reveal of the scepter. Oh, that's crafty.
Very nice coming through there from WS. It requires a little bit more of a ballsy play coming through from Wonderboy as well, but that's what these BKBs are for, right? The question is, I suppose you can't really make the aggressive movement now, right? With the Mars having popped the arena, they're going to go for it anyway, though. Just trying to catch them when they're feeling confident. With that second life, with no arena available, they still know that they've got so much single target pickoff available in Execration's side. Rose would have been the ideal target to be able to go for, but doesn't look like they're going to be able to land this smoke onto anything.
Dire's middle tower.
My camera's not working right now. Alright, they're going to jump.
Well,
Tino.
making movement.
Spear pushes back with the silence. Juggernaut's going to get blown up. Alright, Execration. We'll find it first. Pala's going to try and chain this into a second. The kick further back. The BKB is on cooldown for the moment on Palos, but they are not looking to take the fight.
And maybe just a little bit slow with the Blink Dagger save as well. Potentially the Juggernaut might have been able to at least wait out some of the durations of the silence that was through onto him. But instead, going down, and this isn't what you want. You know, Juggernaut's certainly falling behind, still hasn't been able to overtake even the Mars on the net worth, and really feels like Execration are in prime position to keep that net worth growing.
His lane Wonderboy might be in trouble. Silence to start, arrow to fly. Ooh, just short. Continuing to kick troll away. Tino's going to jump in, but he doesn't get the connection. Great reactions from WS with the blink. He's able to reset, so that's arena now expended.
No
Execration
BKB used either on the Ember. They probably want to go in.
That's a good call from Execration, though. They're going to back off to the high ground. They don't have a ward placed, but looking to clump up and make sure no one is caught out by themselves. Now they can regroup and go in. Palos. Eyeing up Wonderboy. They're going to kick him further away again. Palos has got the BKB. They're looking to kite the best of the possibility. They don't have stuns. You got to get out now in Execration. No arena, no BKB, but they still want to fight. They're still in the neighborhood.
This is what we're talking about.
Bob's going to go back in. Yes, sir, he does. Silence is on the mark. The burst eats the arrows to the Aegis. Is now claimed, but the Void Spirit's going to be in trouble. Phantom's Embrace, kick up in the air once again. Bob, can he get anything off? That's not going to be the case. It's Atlantis. The trader 1-for-1. Aegis for the life of the Void Spirit. Well, Wonderboy, he wants more blood. They've got a ward on the high ground. The Spear's going to buy them some time. Retreating further to the south. WS will not catch up.
And that's how they felt so confident, right? The ward's expired now, but it had complete vision of the Troll Waller during all of that, so they knew that they had this 5v4 situation, able to get the quick pick off onto Bob, and snowball from there. Still, though, 12k net worth lead. It's not an easy position to be in, with Palos just continuing to farm and farm, even picking up the Manta style for himself.
I think though Atlantis, they're taking some pretty good fights, even though how far behind they are. WS might run into Palos. See if he's going to get pretty lucky here. A couple of first hit bashes and roots and an easy kill onto WS.
Pick the illusion, unfortunately, as well. So that's another little advantage of having the Manta style.
Tino?
The man fighting.
He's going to run into Ayad. Arena under the T2 tower. Bob's even going to try and dive past the Coddle. They know they've got the Keeper easily secured, so they're eyeing up more targets, and well, they will even run into Ponyo. Spear is available. He's trying to line it up. Fences Embrace delaying this for the moment. They actually get the connection onto the Ember. Spirit Arrow's going to fly, but a nice sidestep from Wonderboy is going to be okay.
They're just freeing up space for Palos to be the pusher. You know, he is doing everything right this game. Hasn't died a single time. Crazy amount of farm. Level 23 at the 27-minute mark. And he's used BKB a couple of times, but when you're able to output this level of damage onto towers and free up your own farming patterns, you can't ask for too much more out of your carry.
Oh, without a doubt. You see the net worth difference between the Jug and the
Radiant's
Troll
courier
Warlord
has been killed.
closing into the 7,000 range level as well. 5 level difference, so
I'll take that.
Palace has done an exceptional job. And really, Troll is not an easy hero to play at this stage in Dota.
Dire are
The thing is now, like, who can you even go on as this Juggernaut? Because, like, Mirana's going to leap away. It's going to need a setup from the Tusk and the Grimstroke to enable anything,
Dire's
right?
courier has been
Kick
killed.
up into kick back.
On the jump, onto WS.
Speaking of that,
Forced to reposition. Snowball's going to buy him a little bit of time. Blink will be up afterwards. Oh, great timing. The Axis just to be able to prevent the Blink. Meanwhile, Tino is locked in another easy kill. So Execration fine tune. This might help them go up high ground. They know the Glyph was used prior.
yeah, they just needed to wait for that creep wave to be able to connect through to them. No one's protecting it right now, but no one has the capability of stopping this full-on push. It's still going to be at least 2 minutes until you've got the Aghanim Scepter available on the Ember Spirit as well, which might make these team fights a little bit easier. But for now, you've got a level 23 Troll just sieging into those racks. Okay, no Jug's not there either. He's down on the bottom side, pushing in, so they're feeling supremely
Dire's
confident.
middle barracks has fallen. Dire's middle
Full set of
barracks
barracks.
are under attack.
They're happy
Dire's
with
middle
that.
barracks has
Execration
fallen.
propelling the net worth lead up to 19,000. And like you said, Mango Rose wasn't there for that defense. He's down bottom trying to work towards the butterfly.
It's a long road. You've got the Wraith Pack to contend into. You have, I believe that's a Yule Scepter being picked up by the Void Spirit, just dodging out more of the damage on both the Tusk, the Juggernaut, able to remove the Ink Swell, the Flame Guard. Really don't hate that item,
Radiant
considering
are
how
scanning.
Bob has been a little bit susceptible to dying in the past few minutes.
Saw the slight position. And now we're roundabout where Dire are. So Palace
Yeah.
charge
Sort of
head
take the
first.
Illusion Rune as well. Still though, they're feeling confident. Level 18, Yule Scepter fresh pickup, Troll Warlord insanely farmed, Abyssal Blade now as well, so it just enables that very quick pick off. I wouldn't hate seeing him go like a Blink Dagger next on this Troll Warlord, just to immediately get onto the key target, which feels like it's either the Tusk, the Grim, or the Keeper of the Light. They're the ones that you want to lock down and just burst into oblivion.
Much more.
Mango Rose has to be careful. Troll Warlord TP's in his face though, giving him all the information he could possibly want. I'm not sure about that one, Tino. He is still spinning.
Have to imagine he expected the spin to expire. And they are now full retreat. Palace and Bob are still hunting. I don't know if they caught a little glimpse of Mango Rose, so they're going to turn to the Grimstroke instead. The sacrifice. Very well done from Ponyo. You at least help Mango Rose to be able to survive and live for another day. He's back up the top and now continued to fight. I mean, he's getting kind of close to the butterfly, but I don't know if this item's going to help out too drastically in these fights.
Vanish.
Thinking like what else are you actually going to have alongside of it. It's still a little bit until you've got the Will-O-Wisp available on Iard, so maybe if they had that available you could just look to try and stand and man fight even against this Troll Warlord, but until then it really does feel like they can just run away most likely.
Probably just going to see Execration stall this one out till the second Roshan. It's going to be up in the next 45 seconds. It's a really nice play call for them as well. You run at the Juggernaut down bottom, you force his TP, all of a sudden he's on the opposite side of the map. You know, the only, like, he has to be top. So you just run directly up there. You've swept him out of bottom, you're going to sweep him out of top, and all of a sudden he's just forced to stay inside his base and not find any farm. So now Execration has pretty much firm control of a majority of this map, and it's going to make it very difficult for now for Atlantis to set up for a Roche defense, because firstly you need to get the lane shoved out, otherwise if you don't do that, then it's very, very obvious that they're just coming out to contest Roshan.
Up onto the level 25 as well on the Troll Warlord, so those Whirling Axes piercing immunity going to be very nice, particularly against the Tusk, who's got that... actually, never mind, I thought a Tusk had a BKB for some reason, but still able to dodge out a lot of the damage coming through from the Juggernaut after the spin. It's honestly a pretty good shard game as well for Palace. There's been a few times where Bob's been caught out. by a lot of this early aggression. If he's able to steal that rampage for himself, then means that he's going to be able to pop that wall in melee form and give that extra status resistance over to the main target.
And we might see him pick it up here with the second Roche. Bob's already got his. And Tino's got his as well. See what the call is going to be. They give the Aegis nonetheless over to the Troll Warlord. And he will eat the Axe Shard too. Now, Bob's setting up bottom for one, maybe just clearing duties.
Just want to see a new item, you know. But Revenant's Push still feels
Mango Rose.
Everyone was out of sight.
Palos and co. Moving over to Mango Rose. Can they get lucky enough with the bashes? Not going to be the case, as Mango Rose will be able to survive, but they've jumped in. Arena's out, closing to 2. Tino's going to be kicked back into Atlantis' territory, but he's okay. Protected for the BKB. He's got Palos nearby to be able to offer some assistance. Another kick further back, but the Mars is not an easy kill. Finally, they're able to bring him down. They need to deal with Palos next, but he still has the Aegis and BKB. So they're going to look to avoid the troll. Oh, no, he went straight to the end of Remnant. Bob, what beautiful positioning on the stun. And now Palos can charge forward. Another kick to dissuade Execration. But they're going to be cautious, though, Bob. He bit off a little bit more than he can chew. Now they brought down the first life, as Palos could be in trouble.
Kick in 2 seconds.
Auto Trance has already been expended, but he does have the BKB to be able to play with. The 4 staff to be able to reposition. Mango Rose continuing to chase, but they are lacking the control.
US has gone for it. Could he look to maybe go for the blind blink?
Thrilling.
Doesn't seem like he feels comfortable enough to do so. Just wants to shove out these lames for now. It really did feel like they needed to retreat entirely as well. Tino, once he was kicked the first time inside the base, actually tried TPing out, but they felt like they could fight with that second life available. Chose to cancel it, so meant he wasn't able to buy back. They knew they were fighting at a one-man disadvantage without some of their key ultimates. Next team fight will be easier though. Palos, after seeing the butterfly, going straight into the MKB and nearly has it finished up.
We do see how goddamn annoying this kick is, though. Like, put someone further out of position, try and blow them up, just kite the troll as best as you can. There's something that we mentioned in the draft. Like, they do have decent BKB piercing control, and when Arena's on cooldown, it's very difficult for Execration just to enable Palos just to stand his ground and right-click. Atlantis are finally on the other side of the map. They got the ward on the high gun, so they're going to be able to scout out the supports. WS trying to offer some protection to enable the retreat. He's unable to do so. Hex is there from Shanks to cancel 1 TP onto the Tusk. And that is a position 3, along with your fellow support killed off. They're not done just yet, though. It's Mango Rose. Oh, no, he's caught out. The Abyssal Blade used. They canceled the TP. He's going to try and hope he can Blade Fury out of this one. Might bring Vincenzo down with him, but that's not going to be the case, as Palos up to a mega killing streak now. Beautifully done, as the troll was able to sniff out the Jug's location in the tree line.
They're just playing solid Dota right now on Execration. Nothing complex. Just divide and conquer, basically. They came up against an Atlantis lineup that wanted to go for this strong lane, and they didn't let it happen. They just outplayed them in the early game, and ever since then, they haven't taken their foot off the throat. Even going through backdoor.
What's going on under the T4 towers? Void Spirit trying to blow up one. Tino's in as well. Arrow soon to fly. Tino's got another speed, but instead wants to blow up the Coddle as well for good measure. They already know they've got plenty of damage for the Ember Spirit. A couple of buybacks are available with Jug up in 30 seconds. There will be one more attempt at Atlantis, but that's going to be a difficult hold.
Bob even just putting himself up in front of the fountain, tempting them to use their abilities on him. Feels like they've got one last defense, but probably just going to be way too tough. Bob also knows that he's got the Rampage to protect him if he does get going on him.
Backs are out. They're going to have 5 heroes up shortly on Atlantis. Bob's back in, though, trying to blow up WS. The second Resonant Pulse is enough. No Tusk now, and soon to be Mega Creeps. Underboy's in. A couple of remnants, a BKB. Palos unable to find the bash. Mango. Oh, he gets it now. Oh, he gets it as soon as the Blade Fury expires, pushing him back and forth. They've done a good job to control Palace for the moment, but the snowball in Mango Rose, that's not the position he wants to be in. Trying to utilize the Omni Slash, but Palace protected thanks to the Decrep, and as soon as the Omni expires, they'll jump the Juggernaut without Mango Rose. The damage soon to be lacking as Palace is put directly on the dome of the Ember Spirit, the location he wants to be bringing down heroes left, right, and center. Once again, Tino finds another spear, pinning Ember Spirit up against the throne. And Execration are going to start the third tour off in 2-0 fashion. They are looking very dominant.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I honestly thought that base defense was as good as Atlantis could have with the net worth lead that they were coming up against. They were very close to being able to take out Palace there, but another one of these games, he doesn't die a single time. He gets a crazy amount of net worth. I think it was about, what, 15,000 net worth ahead of his next closest competitor, even on his own team. So, yeah, he's just really taking that Troll Warlord and making the absolute most out of it.
We also saw just Execration do the little things right as well. Like seemed like their itemization, we saw Forstaff and the Wraith Pack on Vincenzo, Shanks. We've seen a lot of time go kind of greedy with the Mirana into like the Scepter. This game he felt the need for the Lotus Orb to really help offer some more survivability. And I gotta also give props where it's due. Tino had a really good game, like nothing crazy. We saw, there was some like 1-2 arenas that didn't really get much out of it. But apart from that, like the spears were always on point. He had a very good lane. They didn't have like the greatest way to be able to set up for Mirana's arrow. It wasn't like there was a DK or any other point target stun, but very impressed with how Tino looked on the Mars. Of course, this has definitely been one of his best heroes for quite some time. We've always given Tino props when he's been playing the Mars, but looks like that's continuing to be the case, even though this hero was slightly nerfed.
Yeah, for sure. I really do like his the itemization as well that you were talking about previously. Of course, the Lotus Orb, for all the reasons we mentioned in the game, getting rid of the Searing Chains, the Omni Slash, not as effective, yada, yada, yada. But then just to go into the Sheepstick, obviously very expensive item, could have gone down the greedier route with the Aghanim Scepter, but realizing that they were lacking a little bit of that reliable control, just to enable Tino a little bit more, or even just enabling himself to be able to land those arrows, let Palos get on top of a target and get the chain bashes in. Bob as well, setting up for the Aether Remnant. It was just a really solid pick that wasn't necessarily the best for him, but it was what was the best for the team. And it really feels like it's a couple of games now where you've just let Execration have probably 4 out of their 5 heroes as extreme comfort. Shanks, Mirana, Tino, Mars, Bob, any spirit hero, and Vincenzo 2 games in a row now on the Pugna. So I feel like in future games, teams need to try and either ban them or just block pick, take some of those heroes away from them.
Yeah, without a doubt, because again, their most recent tournament being the BTS Pro Series 11, we saw Execration make the full run through Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3. They made it to the Grand Finals. Fortunately, they weren't able to take it in the end, but we saw time after time, like you mentioned, they were on those heroes, and the fact that maybe there wasn't, I don't know if respect is the right word. There's a lot of heroes that need to be banned out. Obviously, they didn't feel like at least the Pugna or Mirana or anything like that were viable to be banned in a game like this. But we just see Execration really like to fall back on those heroes. And maybe it's got to get to a stage where you have to take them somewhat out of their comfort. But it's difficult. Like, who do you ban out all of Shanks' heroes? Did you ban out all Bob's heroes? Like, what do you think for teams coming forward is kind of how you need to address the draft?
It might be one of those teams where it's just super important to have something like the first pick available, right? And then you could probably ban out the DK in the first phase, but then just ban these other heroes that are going to combo well with the Mirana, because it means that Shanks is probably not going to pick it if he doesn't have that easy-ish setup. We saw multiple times they were able to set up to either kill or at the very least force Mango Rose to play super passively, so that coming out of the laning stage he was already well behind in terms of that net worth. So I think that's probably the avenue that you can look to go down. Ban something like Pugna DK and then pick up the Mars for yourself in the first phase.
All right, well, we do have an interview ready to rock and roll. It's going to be Shanks, so we'll bring him in. Shanks, hello, can you hear us?
Hello?
Hello, there
Yeah,
we go.
Hello, hello.
Beautiful. All right. Shanks, we've had a patch 7.31D. You guys were the first series. I know you maybe hasn't had too much time to be able to look at things, but firstly, what are your thoughts on the patch? Are you happy with it overall?
I thought the patch was gonna be a bit bigger than this one, but I think CK is still strong and some heroes, but overall the patch is okay, I guess, for our team.
Yeah, we saw a couple of games that Vincenzo was able to play the Pugner. Have you spoken with him much, obviously being his support partner, about how he feels the meta might change, particularly for supports, and what they're able to do, just because you're not going to be buying salves all the time, right, for your teammates? Is that a discussion that you guys have had internally?
Actually, we didn't talk about that much, but we knew that Salve is a lot weaker now.
So might see a few of these different heroes come out. Now, I have a bone to pick with you guys. 2 games, you ban out Marcy. What's going on? We wanted to see some Marcy.
Actually, I wanna play that hero too, but
Tell your
we
team.
knew their offlaner plays Marcy.
Ah, okay. So
He
just
spams it.
a thing out of necessity, I suppose. Moving forward, I mean, I don't want to make you guys feel too confident, but you're my tip to be one of those top 2 spots. Are there anyone, at least in scrims, if you can reveal that, or just based off the stuff that you've played against them, that you're feeling scared about facing in Division 2 this season?
I think no one because we aim on qualifying to the international, so we're not scared of any team. I guess we just wanna get better.
Man, good man. I have one more question. Based on the buffs that came through and nerfs of a lot of the heroes, are there any heroes that you feel, previously might have only been viable as a support that can now be played as a core, or previous cores that can now only be played as a support? Was there anything that really jumped out at you in that regard?
Actually, no. I, I'm not really sure right now because I haven't played that much pub yet. Maybe we'll see.
Cool, cool. You got any questions, Aries?
I'm all good. Bit too early to tell. It seems like the patch is out. You guys had one series, and now you can kind of chill and see what you guys like and play some pubs. Shanks, thank you very much for joining us. Is there any shout outs, thank yous that you want to give before we let you go?
I thank you and shout outs to all the fans and doubters. Thank you guys.
Thank you very much, Shanks. Congratulations.
Okay, thank you.
All right, there we go. Danog, our first series done and dusted. Shanks is, yeah, there you go. Doubters, fans, thank you. And
Doubters,
XctN 2-0.
mod check. Where are you? That's all we want to know. All we know is the points are going to be going to the Execration believers as they get that clean 2-0 to be. I'm sure that's always the big relief, right? A new patch comes out, you can get caught off guard by a few things, and maybe that was the reason behind the Marcy ban. Of course, the enemy offlaner being very proficient on the heroes, so just didn't want to get caught off guard and lose a series that they probably, like they said, they don't feel scared. They feel supremely confident in this Division 2. So to be able to get the win on the board must be a big sigh of relief. And now they can go play pubs, the thing that they actually want to do. They want to try out some new stuff.
Yeah, and that's just our first series done and dusted for the day as well. We have 2 more coming up. The middle series, though, it's going to be another Division 2 one. We've got Made in Philippines taking on Lil Gun, so it's going to be exciting to see how 2 brand new teams are able to showcase kind of their beliefs and what they think is strong, what they think isn't strong in the 7.31D patch. Hopefully we get the Marcy. Hopefully it's not banned out. Lil Gun, they've always been a team that like their cheese and can find any way to manipulate that in their draft. And of course, for people that don't know, Made in Philippines are the ex-UDV lads. They made it through the open qualifiers. Still have the same roster in like JG, Ken, you got Luzify in there, Tiki, and Repeater. We may as well name them all. They still got the same lads, but it's going to be a longer break. We're going to be 50 minutes until that series is starting, so that you will maybe give you time to play a pub, see what you like, see what's broken or not. You guys can let us know, get some food, get some drink, and when we come back, we'll have our second series of the night ready to go.